Welcome to Mills County Roots. I am here in Malvern, Iowa with Anna Stoysich. Anna is an artist here in town, and we are sitting at her workspace at her home, and we're looking at a kiln and several pieces of pottery. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. These cups, we're enjoying a cup of tea in these beautiful cups that Anna made for me. This is just an example of some of her work, and I wanted to bring my cups to celebrate our friendship and your art. Cheers. And so I had bought an espresso machine, and all the cups are too tall, but I like a lot of coffee, so I talked to Anna about it, and I think I might have brought her a cafe soup bowl probably what a cup of soup bowl, and she made these cups, and they are absolutely perfect. We didn't talk extensively about design, but so this is Anna's design, and she knows me, and this is what we came up with. So thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. And that's the way all of Anna's art is. It's very personal. It's very earthy. It's very natural, and that's kind of your brand, isn't it?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Anna, tell me about your history with Malvern. Are you a Malvern native?
I am not. My husband and I, we moved here in 2015, and I was pregnant with our son, Mateo. And we came here, we were living in Villisca, Iowa at the time. We wanted to be closer to Omaha, and Malvern was such a sweet spot that got us closer to Omaha, but still in a small town. So we've been here just over 10 years.
Wow. Yep. And I came in mid-16.
Okay.
Which is when we met that summer. Yeah, we had some things going on, and happenstance we met each other. And Mateo was just little when you brought him over to the house, and now he and my grandson went to preschool together, and Anna and I have developed a friendship. We like to have coffee by the fire in the fall, in the backyard. So we've done that a few times, and like I said, I love Anna. I love Anna's art. So Anna, talk a little bit about how you got into this. How did you know you wanted to be an artist, and when did that start with you?
I feel like it's something innate that was just always in me. When I was a child, I was constantly creating. I loved making handmade Christmas presents for everyone. So I would always do that. I'd lock myself in my room and make it a secret what I was making for everyone. It brings me a lot of joy to make, and I feel like that's just innate to all of us as humans, and some of us lose that, but we all have that. So I'm very grateful to just my family, my parents that really supported and encouraged me to do art. And I was just encouraged a lot, and I was really good at it. So being good at something gave me confidence. So
right. That's great. I say that we're given our talents, we're given our gifts, and then we're charged with developing the skill, right? And so sometimes life separates children from their natural talents somehow. Other things get involved, and they get separated from their natural talent. But you stayed connected to yours. Yeah.
I'm very lucky. Yeah.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And do you come from a family of artists?
Not really. I mean, I would say my dad's he's great with his hands. He's like a mechanic. He was a steam fitter. So he knows how to fix things. He built the house we grew up in, and he built his own experimental aircraft with a friend. So. Oh
my goodness. So he's kind of an engineer, an engineer, an artist. And innovator. Wow,
Yeah.
that's really cool. So you had that support around you, like me. I come from several generations of musicians, and it stayed with me. That is passed down on both sides of my family, and it stayed with me through my life. And it's something that it's therapeutic. It's centering. It's grounding. To be connected to something that is innately present in your being, whether that's if you're a mathematician or scientist, or we just happen to both be in one form of art or the other, which begs the next question. What's the first medium you tried?
Oh gosh. I mean, I think like growing up, it was, crayons and markers and paint was always around. My mom didn't really like messes a lot, so
Okay.
I couldn't use glitter.
Oh, no glitter.
I would have if I could have.
Right?
But just kind of the basics. And then the first time I remember doing clay was in third grade. The art teacher brought us a ball of clay, and we got to make a pinch pot animal, and I loved it.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. I still have all my kids' pinch pots
Do you?
from grade school. Yes, yes, I do. Yeah, so, so talk a little bit about, you have a very interesting life. You met your husband out of the country, right? And came here. So tell a little bit about where you went and how you met. And
Yeah, so I was living in Mexico. I moved there in 2010. Before that, I was a Montessori teacher in North Carolina, teaching first through third grade.
Okay.
And I wanted to go on an adventure. My sister had been in the Peace Corps, and I had visited her a couple times when she was in Paraguay. And so I was inspired to learn Spanish and just be somewhere in another culture and learn about people that are different than me and just be in that. So I looked for jobs south of the United States, and I found a job in Mexico and ended up there, and I met my husband there soon after I moved there. So.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and this will be edited, but I want to make sure your microphone is on. It is. Okay. Just wanted to double check because I couldn't see the lights.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Anyway, okay. And we'll resume now. So, did you enjoy Mexico?
I loved Mexico, yes.
Yeah.
I loved South America when I visited my sister there. It's just like a slower pace of life. Yeah. I feel like the people are really connected to their land, to each other, to what it means to be human and to care for each other and share with each other. And
oh, wow.
I felt such a generosity with the people.
Yeah.
So
that's
something I hadn't experienced ever in my life.
Yeah.
So not that I'm not around generous, sharing people, but it's just different.
It is a different vibe. It is a different vibe. Different cultures are generous in a way that we may not be used to. And I always say the Midwest, I've lived all over also. I lived in California and Arizona and Memphis, Tennessee. And I keep coming back to the Midwest because of the warmth of the Midwesterners. And I've been here in Southwest Iowa for a long time, and this time 20 years, and off and on for several years, too many to count before that. And so this is my third time, and I've been here, and I don't see myself moving away. So kind of put in a taproot.
Right.
So anyway, yeah. So, well, okay, let's talk about the process that you go through when you're doing your pottery. Let's talk about you get your clay and where you start and anything that you want to show. Let's show it. But how does that process start and what do you do?
So I mostly work in a red earthenware clay. So it's a red clay body. I'll actually grab a tile that's behind me. Yeah. So after it's fired, the clay looks like this color. And then I put a white layer of like thin clay on top of it essentially while the clay is still wet. And then I take a scratching tool and I scratch through that white slip, is what it's called, while the clay is still kind of wet. It's more dry at this point. It's called leather hard stage. And I scratch through that. So all the lines of the drawings are actually the red clay body coming through. And if you fill it with your finger,
Yeah,
there's
nice texture.
There's some nice texture there.
Yeah.
And so after I have all the drawing laid out, then I come in and I paint with underglazes. And after that, I fire it in my kiln, take it out, and then I generally put like a clear coat of glaze on top to make it shiny.
Yeah, very
so that's
nice.
the majority of the
Yeah.
time, that's how I'm working. I also do wood firings. I don't have a wood kiln, but I have friends that have wood kilns, so I generally do that once or twice a year too as well. And that gets me out of my studio and with other artists and firing a really big kiln that fires for days.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I would love to go when you guys open the kiln. I would love to go sometime and film that. I mean, I can't imagine the excitement, everybody's work.
It's like opening presents on Christmas. Yeah.
I bet it is. I bet it is. That's really cool. Well, your artwork is, it's more than just sculpture, and it's more than just painting. It's a combination of all, and keeping that paint between those lines.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a process here, a several step artistically layered process, and your work shows that. And before we're done here, I'd like to pan around and look at some of the work you have on the shelves here, and take just a quick view of the kiln. And but
something else I forgot to mention that I think is really important to know about my work is that I hand build all my work, so I don't use a potter's wheel. I roll coils and pinch, like that's how I made these.
Oh,
I roll coils
really?
And pinch, yes.
Oh my gosh.
I roll slabs out with a rolling pin. I am getting a slab roller. I'm so excited about that, so I won't have to use my rolling pin anymore. But that's how I work, and it's a way that I've just always loved working with clay that way.
Well, that's really, oh my goodness, the what would you call it? The
rim,
the caliber, the calibration all the way around is so even, and it's just, it's still natural, but it's also very precise. You know, you've still left some very beautiful natural edges, but still the shape is so precise, and it's, I don't know if everything you do is that particular style, but this is, I mean, you can see now that you've told me that you don't use a wheel, you know, I'm like, okay, well, this is perfectly round.
Yeah. It's like not perfect, but it is perfect. It's
exactly.
You can definitely, if you get to hold my pieces, you can feel that they have that handmade quality, and
yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they do. It's a nice weight, and it's not, you know, like some of the stuff maybe that you buy that's machine made is thinner, but this is earthy. Feels earthy, and you just love it. There's just something about it, and on a cold day especially. You know,
right.
So. Well, Anna, so you do classes, right?
I do classes, yes.
Okay.
I do classes from my home, my studio in Malvern.
Yeah.
And I also come on site to your place, so I can do that. I've done classes for Boy Scout troops, for friends celebrating, having a party together. And then...
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. This spring, I'll be doing a class at Lorenzen Gardens. I believe it's Sunday, March 14th. Whatever the Sunday is, it's like the 13th or 14th.
Okay.
From 1 to 4 p.m. there. And it's going to be just like I was showing you, we're going to work on making small wall tiles with spring flowers on them. And then I'll do another class in June there. Same idea, except for summer flower themes. And that's, I believe, also June 14th. It's a Sunday, so.
Okay. Well, I was over visiting this summer, and you had a trailer, a camper in your backyard that you were painting. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure, yeah. That was a fun project that I was the first time doing something like that. Our friend Cynthia, she is going on adventures and she wanted her camper to look artistic.
Yeah.
And she loves native flowers and hiking. So she just asked me to, I think she said a couple flowers she wanted, and I knew she wanted a swallowtail butterfly.
Yeah.
So it had swallowtail butterflies, sunflowers, coneflowers, dotted blazing star.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, and we also did the bee balm on there too.
Oh yeah, it was really beautiful. The background was kind of a sky blue, and then it had all of the natural colors and the flower blooms and grasses, and it was really beautiful. A cute little teardrop type trailer. So if you see it on the road, you know it came from here. So anyway, yeah. So you do a lot of dishes, cups, plates. And okay, I know we did the Pawpaw Festival together this year. Tell what your capacity was at the Pawpaw Festival at Waubonsie State Park.
Sure.
Yeah.
I have a personal relationship with that park, with Waubonsie State Park. I worked there for a couple of summers as the naturalist back in 2018 and 2019. Those were the first years of the Pawpaw Festival. And when more recently, I've been like a volunteer and helping organize that festival.
Now I have to ask you, was that Pawpaw Festival your concept? Matt's,
Yeah,
okay.
Matt Moles.
Okay. What a great thing, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, the pawpaw trees that are there at Waubonsie State Park are pretty exclusive to that park,
They are,
aren't they?
yes.
Yeah, so I know one that was in my children's great-grandparents' yard in Tabor, but that's the only one I've seen outside of that park in this area.
Yeah, and for right now, it's kind of as far north as the pawpaws grow, like right around where Waubonsie is. So
Wow. Okay. So that's more of a southern thing, I guess.
It is more of a southern thing.
Okay. So I was just amazed. You made you had a lot of stations going on for the kids to show them things, and you were doing making things there with the kids. Tell a little bit about those projects, because they were really nice, and I saw some adults getting involved in that as well.
Yeah, so one way we like to involve the kids is through doing a craft, and we've always used pawpaw seeds to do projects. So we take pawpaw seeds and we also use other seeds like lentils or black beans, and then we make kind of like drawings with the seeds or mandala shapes, just and glue them on paper. So we were doing that, and it's just so good to always give kids that chance.
It is, and then they're learning, you know, about textile learning about the nature. You know, it's really cool. Yeah, and they were having a great time, and it was so relaxed.
Yeah.
It was just like, you know, you say festival and you think it's woo. Well, everybody brought a dish, and so we walked around the shelter there and had a dish, or you know, had food and had the crafts and
The foods with the pawpaws. in
yeah, the
them.
food made with the pawpaws.
Right.
Yeah. So that was really, and that was a fun thing. That was something that we got to do
Yeah,
together.
Carlene played music. So
Yeah. I played music for
It
that.
was really sweet, very sweet.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to be there with you and see you with the kids. So let's talk a little bit about what you have going on right now as far as, or recent projects. Let me back up there a minute.
sure.
Let's talk about the recent projects you've done, because I know there's a really cool one here in town that we'll go and take some video of. So we'll make sure that it gets in this podcast.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so we recently installed a community tile mural. So I led that project. I actually wrote a Substack article about the project. So if you want, you can search for that and look deeper into that. But basically, I had this idea that I wanted to do a mural. I wanted to do a tile mural. I felt like the work that I already do in clay, the illustrated clay objects, would translate well to a tile mural. And I really wanted the community involved. I wanted to feel like they owned it, and when they walked by it, that they were a part of it. And I just I just remember opportunities like that when I was a child and how it was really life-changing for me. So I had high school students help, and also families in Melbourne could come to the community center and work on the tiles with me. So the community essentially helped with the frame. The frame of the tile mural is blue and white, and it's checkered looking. And if you look, they're 3-inch tiles, but if you look, there's so much detail in them. They're all wetland plants and animals, and the blue ones are just like a water theme. So I asked them to think about water and what it means to them and draw symbols for water on the blue tiles.
Oh, wow.
And then the larger middle part is something that I designed and did myself. It's all Iowa wetland plants and animals. I was inspired by there's a wetlands restoration area down over by the pond. And yeah, I'm really connected to like local ecosystems.
Yes. I find it amazing talking to people how we're calling this Mills County Roots, Routes, of course. So, and double entendre, of course, with roots. But I find it so amazing how people's roots through their life, like you were a Montessori teacher, and then you had art. Art has been a theme through your entire life, and now you have been a naturalist at the Waubonsie State Park, and so nature has been a theme throughout your life as well. And now this project comes full circle with the children and the art and the nature, and that seems to be where you tend to focus yourself is on in that natural realm, and always having children in mind, and teaching. You teach your classes. You teach adults too, though.
I do.
Correct?
I teach adults.
I need to come take a class because it just sounds so relaxing. And so, I mean, it sounds tedious. I'm sure it's tedious, but
It can be.
But it's engaging. And you know, years ago, I picked up a paintbrush and canvas and started painting. And I'm not a great painter, but it was so therapeutic. You know, and now I find myself, everything I look at, I study color.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
Yeah, I look at it different. I was with my friend who's a poet, and we were sitting outside looking out at our pond. It was late fall. And I was like, wow, look at the lime greens. And she's like, tell me where the lime greens are, because I don't see them.
Yeah, I know. And even looking out the window here and looking at the sky, I see gray and blue and purple and little tinges of white. And I didn't see that before.
Yeah.
I look out and say, oh, that's a blue sky.
Yeah.
There's really not a lot of blue in that sky today, is there?
No.
So that's really interesting. Yeah, and the greens in the trees and stuff. Yeah, so that's fun. So when you're walking around outdoors, indoors, when you're looking, especially in nature, because as the sun moves, the color changes. And so try to enjoy the depth of the color there. I think a lot of times, this thing I love about art is it makes us stop and look and think and slow down. And the same with music. It really brings us back to our natural being, because we stop long enough to take it in.
I feel like it helps us remember we are humans, and it remembers our humanity in ourselves, because I think it's such an innate thing we all have that it gets us in touch with our humanity. And then when we're in touch with our humanity, we want to take care of each other, take care of the earth. Like, it's all related.
Exactly, you're right. And life gets so busy, and the pressures of having to make a living close in on us, and we don't get to really enjoy that so much, you know. And maybe we may work real hard as an executive and then go lay on the beach for a week and sip margaritas and yep, there's the ocean, there's the sky. I'm relaxing, and then right back at it. So to intertwine that throughout our days is just it's a blessing, and it's something that we can really dig our nails into on a daily basis and really discipline ourselves to stop and enjoy it, because it really does have an effect physiologically on the body.
Absolutely.
The brain.
Yes. Yeah.
And being able to share it with another person, and that's how we're made, social beings to interact with one another. So I really appreciate it. It's nice of you to give your perspective on the importance of art and how art affects life and reminds us of our humanity. That's really a beautiful perspective. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what is in the future for you artistically?
So right now I have a couple projects that are in the works. I'm working on a mural.
Okay.
And I'm also working on some sculptural projects too. Doing some work for, it's an organization in Omaha called Lala, and they help artists kind of bridge themselves into more public art. So I'm doing some more exploratory work for them. And then I'll also be making a sculpture for Glacier Creek in Omaha.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Well, I really like that project because sometimes musicians or artists or people who are connected to themselves artistically, sometimes you get put up on a pedestal and people say, oh, I could never do that. That's amazing. But they can. And I love being able to share that. And I love that you're doing projects that share that connect the artist community with the general public and help people tap in to that part of themselves, whether it be movement, but just walking through, like sometimes I go up to the old market and I'll walk through that gallery there at the old market, and it's like time stops. You walk through and you look at what people create, and you look at things that are abstract, and you think about them, and you have your own interpretation of them. And so that's the great thing about art as well. Each person is able to interpret it themselves, right?
Yeah,
to,
there's
to
a
whatever
lot of
they choose to think about it.
imagination is involved, and I feel like that is one of the jobs of an artist, is to show the world, inspire the world that there are other possibilities, there are other ways.
Yeah. I love that.
I feel like I did that with my tile mural. The animals in there are celebrating. They have pottery and they're having a tea party, and they're sharing this bowl of berries with each other. And someone at the ribbon cutting looked at it and said, that's not like the wetlands down by the pond, And of course it's not, but I'm showing like what it could be. And
I love that whimsical turn you put on that. Because nature is very whimsical. We just don't always see it. It's very whimsical.
And they might be out there having a party.
They might. The squirrels are partying in my backyard all the time and teasing the cats and right, chasing each other. One of the most fun days. I lived in Missouri at the time, but there were 3 little squirrels, and they were babies. They were probably 4 inches long with a little tail, and they would chase each other around and around the trunk of this tree. And then when they would catch each other, and all 3 of them would get in a ball and just roll around on the ground. So that was
cute.
Yeah. But you have to stop long enough to see it. And that was a great place to live, because I was sitting on the porch one day, and I had some sunglasses on, and they must have been reflective. But this hummingbird came up right here, and I heard, and
oh my gosh.
I didn't even see it come up. And then when I realized that it was there, it was like, wow. What an encounter, What an encounter. So I share your love of nature, and I watch it from a whimsical mind.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, well, Anna, thank you so much. I
Yeah.
so much appreciate this. We're going to go down to the library and we're going to do some video of that mural, that tile mural, and kind of zero in on those details you're talking about. I'm looking forward to that.
That sounds great.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay.
These pieces are prototypes for some sculptural projects that I have in the works right now. So this piece is a prototype for Glacier Creek in Bennington, Nebraska, for an outdoor sculpture. This piece here is a prototype for Lala. These pieces will get fabricated in fiberglass and blown up larger scale, and then we'll do some experimentation on the surfaces of that. Right here in this box, these are examples of tiles we'll be making in my classes at Lawrence Gardens this March and June. So you can go on their website and look in their classes for those. These pieces are just playing around the studio. Some vases and a bust that I just wanted to try. And this is, over here is my storage. So I've got like molds here, my glazes and dry materials are on the bottom. These are underglazes. Yeah, just more glaze materials. This is like stuff that I take to shows. And over here in this cabinet is kind of like my archival. I'll open it up so maybe we can see a little bit. Take a little bit closer look, but these pieces are either ones I've made or I've collected of artists through the years. These are other artists. This is older work of mine and some more older work of mine down here that I just couldn't get rid of and I had to keep. And over here is more current work. This is work that I would take with me to art shows and sell. It's also work that might be going to galleries. Up on the top shelf are my wood-fired pieces. Those look more rustic and earthy. Over here, we got my cart that has works in progress. So these pieces have been fired and not glazed yet. Got some class work here too. And then right over here, we have the kiln that I use to fire my work in. It's electric kiln and it's all programmed. So I can essentially push a button and turn it on and it's done 12 to 16 hours later, depending on the length of the firing.
Okay, we're back here with Anna Stoysich at the Malvern Library here on Malvern Main Street at the tile mural that Anna did. Anna, talk a little bit about this artwork on this mural.
Yeah, so these are 6-inch clay tiles and these are 3-inch clay tiles. And I formed these tiles by hand from wet clay. And the tiles that make up the frame of the mural were made by high school students and members, families from Malvern. They have imagery of plants and animals of the wetlands in Iowa. And then the blue tiles, I asked the participants to draw things that reminded them of water. So we have bubbles and kind of like waves and ripples. The larger part of the inside mural is what I worked on, and it includes animals such as the blue heron, painted turtles, the plains leopard frog, muskrat, mink, wood ducks. We have some different kinds of birds and egret, so all kinds of plants and animals. And then if you look close, there's a lot of just fun, kind of off, spontaneous sort of things happening. We have these two sharing a cup of tea and a bowl of berries. The painted turtles over there seated around a table and the frog coming in on his bike. So just a lot of fun things going on. And
It is beautiful. Anna, what do you call this piece?
so the mural is titled The Celebration, Iowa's Plants and Animals of Iowa's Wetlands. I wanted to make a piece that shows what happens when we come together in community and we share. So I have the animals doing that. But I also think art is another great way to come together and share and inspire each other. This piece is really imaginative, and I want people to see the beauty of nature, that it exists and it's there, and that we could live alongside all of these wild animals and plants and take care of them.
Yeah, well, you've done a really good job of depicting that, and you've shown a beautiful perspective of nature and of community. So thank you. Thank you, Anna. So appreciate you being with us for Mills County Roots, and it's been a pleasure to be with you today and talk to you about your artwork. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it.